By fighting laziness, we make life much more fulfilling and filled with blessings. The Zohar talks about, in that context, what's the difference between somebody who pushes themselves to delve deeply into things and a person who's fine understanding sort of the shallow wisdom as opposed to pushing themselves. And it's really the question between, what is the benefit of pushing to do things with alacrity as opposed to being relatively lazy. And we all are relatively lazy. And so the story, they use a parable of a man who lived in the mountains his entire life, never sort of been around people and communities and villages. One day he decides to go down into the village, and a nice family takes him in. He sits there, and they're going to have dinner. So they bring, in the beginning of dinner, this beautiful, freshly baked breads. And he starts eating. He's never had bread before. So he's eating the bread. He's enjoying it so much. And he after eating 2 loaves of bread, he asks the people, "Where's this made from?" He said, "From wheat." Amazing. They bring the first course. It's pasta. It's amazing pasta, homemade. He eats 3 bowls of it and he says, "Oh my God, this is amazing. What is it made from?" And they tell him it's made from wheat. And then they bring dessert. Of course, it's all kinds of cakes and cookies. And he just gobbles it up. He's never eaten food this good in his life. And he says, "What is this made from?" And they tell him it's made from wheat. He says, and he thinks for a moment, he says, "You know what? I actually have all this already. I eat the wheat." Because in his living in the mountain, all he does all day is eat wheat. But of course, that's stupid. It is true that he and they are eating at least of the same source. But in reality, their life is much richer because they take the same wheat and invest time and effort into it. Yeah. And it becomes something much more beneficial, enjoyable, and fulfilling.
It's a great analogy.
Exactly. And that's when I think it's so important that when we realize that unless we are actively and consistently investing alacrity, fighting our innate bodily laziness, we might think, "Oh, I have wisdom. Oh, I have blessings," but nowhere near the depth and completeness and fulfillment that we're meant to be receiving from them.